This guy has swallowed all of the socialist media's propaganda. This guy isn't the brightest bunny in the forest.
Yeah, I can see the Communist Broadcasting Corporation has brainwashed you. Trump definitely isn't for brainwashed Canadians who keep re-electing Justin Castro.
The price of everyday essentials are through the roof. No one can afford a home. Justin Triple Pinky swore he'd fix things this time. I am voting for him.
The one and only.
Hello, Americans, Canadians, and citizens of the world. I am George, and I made a video expressing my disappointment with the result of the US election. I invited your comments. Comments I received. But honestly, I think many of the comments were made after watching only the first minute of the video. If you don't believe me, check this out. Average view duration of the video was just 2 minutes and 10 seconds. Only about 30% of you made it past 2 minutes. As a result, most comments completely missed the point. I wasn't trying to promote Democrats, especially not when it comes to domestic US policies. I openly admit not knowing enough about that. See, YouTube's comment section is funny. You can get a good discussion about certain things, and sometimes good ideas are being shared. But mention anything political, and you get a bunch of trolls lecturing and insulting you. The funny thing is, you all get to stay anonymous. You can tell me I'm a commie, brainwashed, or just plain dumb, without saying it to my face. Some of you left sincere comments, and I appreciate that. Most, however, just took the opportunity to get mad and type stuff they wouldn't say in public, or sign with their name. I checked some of your channels, and most of them have no face, no meaningful description or content. It's different for me. I volunteered my opinions, and that was my choice. I'm not hiding behind a YouTube handle. I am who I am, and my opinions are genuine, whether you agree with them or not. You guys are telling me that Donald Trump has been indicted countless times for political reasons? So tell me, was the 2020 election stolen? Wasn't this investigated to death and no evidence found? Was it not Trump's voice calling the election official in Georgia, asking him to find 11,000 something more votes for him? Are you okay with this kind of conduct from your president? Did Trump pay hush money to a porn star to hide his sexual misconduct from the public? Or was that just made up? Why is his chief financial officer in prison? Does any of this matter to you? One guy actually posted something about Kamala Harris, saying that she's a woman and she should do women things, like tend to the kitchen and take care of her family. I couldn't tell if this was a joke or not. Most of you accused me of listening to the wrong media, as if Fox News wasn't biased. I can assure you that I listen to a huge variety of different media, but Fox News isn't one of them. I think they are the ones spreading right-wing propaganda. How do I know this when I don't listen to them? I learned my lesson years ago as a trucker driving across the USA week after week, listening to Sean Hannity and Rush Limbaugh, and actually agreeing with some of their talking points, until one day my bullshit detector woke up and I couldn't take them anymore. No, it's not the Democrats trying to divide people. It's Fox News discrediting the media as a whole, accusing them of bias toward the left. As a matter of fact, that's the reason they exist. For what it's worth, I listen to credible media from around the world, like DW, Al Jazeera, and WION, just to name some examples. And yes, I occasionally listen to CNN. What was this insurrection on January 6, 2020? Did that not happen? Why did so many of the involved get convicted? Was Trump not responsible for any of this? What about Mike Pence, who is about as conservative as could be, but who had to be protected from Trump's supporters? So, all this never happened, and it's left-wing propaganda? Bullshit, guys. You're all in for the surprise of your lives. Trump is not who you believe he is. He grew up rich, squandered fortunes, and got famous as an entertainer. Want to know more about Trump? Johnny Harris, who is not related to Kamala, by the way, made a great video about him. Got an open mind? Check it out. He also made one about Kamala Harris, by the way. How can you discredit a woman like her, who has accomplished a lot in her life, on the basis that her parents were educated people? What kind of BS is that? Do you love losers so much that you can't vote for someone whose parents don't fit that description? I admit, and I stand by my admission, that I don't know much about US politics. I can understand ideologies. I share some of the Republican ideas, but you're probably right when you say I lean more toward the left. That's because I'm tired of the inequalities in our society, which, by the way, goes for both sides of the border. Some of you assume that I'm a supporter of Trudeau, calling Canada something like a communist state and spreading rumors about Trudeau being related to Fidel Castro. The reality in Canada today is that capitalism is pretty much unchecked, putting average people at a disadvantage against the rich. Too many can't afford rent or groceries anymore because large corporations and private equity are controlling the prices, and there's a severe lack of competition. The rich get richer, and it's almost impossible for the average citizen to get ahead. Unfortunately, it's getting worse over time, regardless of whether we had a liberal or a conservative government. But I wasn't talking about Canadian politics. I was talking about Donald Trump, a man I have no respect for. Most of you totally missed the point of my video, commented after listening to me for less than 3 minutes, and basically told me I was stupid. I don't care about US politics. Some of you told me to fuck off and worry about Canadian problems, as if Trump wasn't one of them. Political campaigns are full of manipulations from both sides, and it's hard to distinguish lies from the truth. But when you claim that Trump's convictions were politically motivated, you're basically saying that you've lost all confidence in the United States institutions. That's serious trouble, folks, and your convict president will fix that with a good dose of revenge. Let the shit show begin, and hope you don't end up on the wrong side of the new order. Now you have Elon Musk sticking his nose into the government too. A mentally unstable, power-hungry oligarch let loose to do his magic. Watch him cut funding for any and all the committees that are investigating him. Watch a team of incompetent and selfish people run your country into the ground. And before you say that Canada is worse, well, Canada definitely has its problems, and I'm sure the next 4 or 5 years won't be easy. Corruption is a real issue here too. But it isn't communism, as some of you seem to think. If you think Canada is communist, it just tells me that you've never experienced life in a communist society. I can look back at Germany when I was growing up. At the time, East Germany was communist. I got to see glimpses of it as a kid. Supply shortages were the norm, and people were spying on each other. Believe me, Canada is nowhere near that. Even with all its problems, Canada is probably one of the freest countries on earth. I don't have a problem with political ideologies, but I have a problem with Trump. And yeah, I don't like Musk neither. They represent exactly what you guys seem to hate so much. A corrupt elite. Thanks for listening. Comment away, but please don't expect me to respond to insults and lectures. I've got better things to do.